Hi. So, where have we got so far? I think the talk we had on Saturday in the car, waiting for my son to finish training, we spoke more about language, how language is, when you hear it, is a commentary on my internal simulation or my map of the world. We spoke about how language is produced and received very much unconsciously. So it's happening outside of our in the moment conscious awareness. All we're doing on the inside to generate it is outside of our awareness. Often for me, the first thing I know about what I'm saying is when it comes out of my mouth, which would explain a lot to a lot of people, I'm guessing. We went on to say that the words coming out of my mouth are not happening in a vacuum. They are using as a reference point an internal simulation or an internal map. So I am referring to that map outside of awareness when I speak. So that's the first thing. It's a commentary on that map. Now, secondly, my words are offering you search criteria for your filing cabinet, for your map, for your simulation. And you have to access encoded experiences in order to make sense of what I'm saying. Now, the universal modeling uh, model of NLP suggests that when I speak based on this representation on the inside, I am referring to this deeper level structure. But as I do that, I have to, or I tend to, leave bits out. So I delete information. I generalize other bits of information. And the model suggests that I distort other bits of that information. Now, I'm doing that in every moment in order to make sense of my experience of the outside world. So there are pre existing filters based on past experience that are making a determination outside of my awareness of what I'm going to pay attention to. And that's going on the whole time. So I'm encoding this experience in my own unique way. And we've also said that our brains are predicting organs. They are making predictions based on this data coming in about what I should do, what motor responses I need in order to keep myself safe, both physically and psychologically, since the advent of this inventive person called Mark Harris. So when you listen to me, there or anybody, there are always going to be bits of the detail about their internal map that they are leaving out, details that they are just leaving out. There are other bits of information that they are just making a broad generalization about. The details are there in the internal structure, but we're not hearing them. We're just hearing the generalization. And there are other bits. Now, the model uses the word distortion, and I don't like it, but what it basically means is that we're having to change details in some way in order for all of this to make sense. And that is displayed in my language, in your language, in everyone's language. Now, here's the rub, and here's the problem, and here's the thought that leads me thinking, how do we ever communicate with understanding with anyone? All of this information left out, all of these kind of presuppositions and generalizations being made, and all of these distortions or manipulations in order to make information fit. How do we ever really understand what someone says? How? Well, because as we speak as human animals, what's going on is that as I listen to someone and I hear what they're saying, I'm not aware consciously that they're leaving bits out and that they're distorting bits and generalizing bits. When they leave bits out, I fill them in for them at a deeply unconscious level. I fill in from my experience, all right, what I would think based on how I've lived my life, what should go in there. I'm filling it in with my experience. So there's information left out. I fill it in with information from my own experience, unless I check for what they've missed out. Same thing goes with generalizations. If they are generalizing about someone, some group of people, I go into my own experience. If I agree with the generalization, I probably don't even notice it. If I don't agree with it, I might notice it but not mention it. And the same goes for distortions and for those parts of their map of the world that they've got uh, somehow structured in a way that I may not do in the same way. I hope that makes some kind of sense. So over the next week, I'm going to spend some time going through each of these characteristics of language mapping. I'm going to point out what they broadly are and the implications of those omissions, generalizations, and distortions. What the implication of knowing about this stuff has for us, just as human beings, but more specifically, the implications for us as birth professionals. Um, I hope someone gets to watch this. Uh, no one ever watches it live. Um, I'm enjoying creating these videos. And also, of course, I get the benefit of being able to download the transcript. And that's really useful for me. So please do ask any questions in the comments. That's great. Do like and subscribe. Um, and thank you very much. Me done for another day.